Zach, I'm so happy you're here.
Me too, thanks.
This has been a huge year for you, and you've just announced something really cool. You're going to the Sphere. You have a bunch of shows. What's life like? What's life been like these days?
It's fun. I got 5 kids, so just my first one's off to college, so that's bittersweet, but she's going to be close by. And then creatively, making this album I've been writing for the last 3 years. It's called Love and Fear. And the show at Sphere has been my baby for the last 14 months. Making all the content, you're only limited by your imagination and your budget. And so I've been putting literally every bit of resource and time and energy and everything into this album and into what we're going to do there. Because what we're going to do there is not what people might expect, and I'm really excited about it.
You say it's like kind of storytelling. Like you're going to be telling a story of your life that people may not have heard or know. What is that? I mean, I saw you too at the Sphere, which was amazing.
Yes.
But what does that mean for people that are wondering?
I think all the things that we go through as human beings, I always try to think about when I hear something that is relatable, it's like that relates to me, but could also relate to anyone else. So I try to write about things like that, whether it's just like having fun or if it's deep things about family and about reflection and about things. So, all the struggles that we go through as humans at the time are really hard, but those are the things that kind of define who we are and make us resilient. Give us our character, our strength, help us find that code that we live by. And that's what the show's about. So it's just really about just the hero's journey that we all have in life. But I'm sharing my personal details of it, which I never had before.
And Love and Fear, to me, they're sort of on the two different ends of the spectrum.
That's right.
Like to lead with love is the opposite of leading with fear.
Every decision you make can be based on one of those two things. So that's really my guiding force in my life. I don't make my decisions based on being afraid of something. And I think these days, you're going to be criticized for anything that you do. So you might as well own the things if you know who you are. And if you have something to say and you want to do something extraordinary, it requires an extraordinary effort. And that's the Sphere. That's what this show is. And we needed a spectacle to kind of show our dedication to our craft. And, I'm a huge art collector as well. So we've used some really amazing art, had some art created for this show as well. There's a guy, Louis Marcoya, that I've been working with since the beginning of this Sphere journey. He was Salvador Dali's protege in the 70s. And when Salvador died, he quit painting and he started again 5 or 6 years ago. And I ended up finding one of his paintings and I was like, who is this guy? So I get to know him, and he's super eclectic but super gifted.
Wait, so you saw the art and you were like, I need to know more about this painter, and you reached out?
I reached out to him. I do that a lot, actually. I get to know the artists that are creating, and my tastes and things, like you get a taste of it if you come see our show. We're one of those bands that you really have to see a show to understand. And all of my tastes in art and pulling on every human emotion that there is, bringing it. So I had to make an original oil painting of the songs based on the content in that surrealistic kind of a style. And so we're bringing that artwork to life. And then I'm really involved with every single step of this, from wardrobe to being actually in the footage. So I've been a stunt man. I've been on stunt wires, getting thrown in the air and slammed against walls and drug across the ground. And diving, free diving. We had the 16K camera underwater swimming with sharks and whale sharks. And so it's going to be, people are not going to expect what it is, but it's a redemption story and one that people can connect to on a human level, but it's a flex for us.
But it's a flex, and it's taken all of this hard work. Like you
It is
care, it matters to you. It's not just throwing something together.
And because of it, the budget that we have to make the album and the album launch, and we're doing this fully independent, like we're not using a record label. We're doing everything in-house, and everything at the Sphere you have to do yourself. You have to make all the visuals. You have to make the wardrobe, make the choreography, build the stage, build the lighting. And so the intention behind every single step of that, and this is the greatest mountain of work I've ever had to do, but it's super fulfilling, and it's just about, we were almost there where we're about to get in rehearsals and see everything up there and stitch it together and stitch the story together. So it's a story that we're following throughout the thing, and I haven't seen anyone do that yet. So I've seen 5 shows there. At the
Did you
Sphere.
see you too?
I did.
Yeah.
I was there opening night.
Yeah.
Incredible.
It was pretty
Everyone's
amazing.
done incredible things. There were moments and things that I wish I had a little bit more of as a fan.
Yeah.
And so that's the, adjustments that we're making for our show. So it's been great to see other people do it and, be brave enough to go in and take it on, financially, time-wise, everything. Because you can't tour before that. So you can't make any money through the year.
Yeah.
And then you have to invest all the money to do it. So, but it's all a worthy cause, like Teddy
I saw
Roosevelt.
Teddy right there staring at me. I was a little intimidated. It's like there's something about you that I don't know that everybody knows. Like you're a real student, it feels like you're studying this to make it. You've gone to 5 shows, but like in all aspects of the word.
Yeah, I'm a rabbit hole guy. Anything that I'm learning about, I want to do a full deep dive. And that goes into everything. Like I make knives. I've been doing that since I was about 18. I free dive. I'm a spear fisherman. There's lots of things that I do that I don't really share that much, but I've tried to utilize the best of my ability and my curiosity. Like I'm a hyper curious person. So with this, thinking about, and I'm a music fan first. And so what do I want that experience to be if I'm a fan in the show and getting to see it and working backwards from that experience. So this is our masterpiece so far.
I love that.
Yeah.
So is Teddy, you're a naturalist. You love to be in the outdoors.
Yes.
Is that why you love Teddy? He was the founder
So
of our
many-
national parks.
Yeah. Yeah. So many things that Teddy did and that he strived for, and for the best intentions of the people.
Yeah.
And I think that's what we work on at Camp Southern Ground.
Yeah.
We have a facility that we built, and camp is not a really good word for it because it's like a university quality campus. We do 34 weeks of veteran programs. We do 9 weeks of sleepaway camp for kids. We host vision development there. It's all farm to table. It's a beautiful place, but I think it's amazing to have your craft and to be able to be successful at it, but to have a higher purpose behind it. Because I think that real joy really comes from helping other people and doing something. And Teddy lived his life that way, dedicating himself to the common man. And as with anyone, we're all flawed. They're all things that people can hate on. But the reason that we have a lot of the institutions that we have in America is because Teddy, the good ones.
Yeah. National park system. It's pretty amazing.
Right.
Okay, let's go back to you being a young kid and you grew up in Georgia. Was there a moment where you knew you were like gifted at music or like you loved music? Forget the talent.
Yeah, I think love fuels talent. and it's those
But
10,000 hours.
sometimes you can love something and not be talented.
That's true.
I hate to say it because I love music and yet I'm not
That's
talented.
true. But it's a matter of what you spend your time working on. Just about everything, and I tell my kids this, is just time on tools. So the amount of time you either love it enough to keep going, because everybody sucks at first.
Yeah, that's true.
And then you have to just keep going. And then everybody tells you can't do it, and you need another plan. You need to get a degree.
Or you tell yourself that, you know?
So you have to be really resilient to be, successful at what you love to do. And that's what I tell my kids. Like, find something that you love and put yourself fully in that and be around people that are great at it. Learn from them. Be humble, be kind, be a good person. I had a lady tell me when I had my first daughter, and it was terrifying because I was like, I'm responsible for how this little human is going to turn out.
I remember that feeling myself.
Yeah.
I'm like, wait, you're going to send me home with her?
I know. I had no idea like what to do.
Yeah.
Like her little hand barely went around my pinky.
Yeah.
She was 6 weeks early. So, and a lady told me, she's like, just teach them to be good people and they'll be successful at whatever they set out to do. And that's been my like guiding force. It's like, know them enough to see who they are, who they're hanging with, what they're doing. And now I'm in a position of coaching more than I am being a parent, because if you're too hard-handed, they'll run the other way and do the other thing. So that's always a balance. But I have extraordinary kids and really blessed. And that's another result of like what you put into them. If you let the internet and a nanny alone raise your children, they're going to have a lot of challenge. I mean, not that we don't all have challenges, but it's also letting them know that you're human.
Well, unconditional love, too. Like, if they feel your love, then they feel brave. I mean, love and fear.
Right.
They feel brave to conquer whatever it is that the world's going to give them.
Amen.
Wait, so, okay, go you. I like how you take it to your kids all the time. I can tell you love being a dad.
I do.
But you're a little kid, a little boy growing up in Georgia. What was the moment you were like, I love music?
I started, was when I'd first hear like TV jingles and things, and I was singing along, and my brother, who was living with me at the time, was just like, shut up, stop singing if you don't know the words. But I was like, I was stubborn in a good way. I just kept going. And then when I was 7, I started learning guitar, taking guitar lessons. My dad played a little guitar, and my older brother was 21 years older than me. So
wow.
he was playing guitar and banjo and taking me to music festivals when I was younger, and I really got to see other young people playing, and I was like, if they can do that, I can too. And I was about 14 when I realized that that's what I wanted to do for my job. I know I wanted to build a camp. I know I want to play music. And so it's been amazing since then. I've known a direction and had purpose and worked really hard at those things.
Knowing that you wanted to be a musician because you are so talented at 14 sort of makes sense. But knowing that you wanted to build a camp at 14 is like a very specific dream.
Well, my camp experiences were very transformative for me.
Yeah, me too.
And seeing the difference that it makes. When I started working, I was working with Special Olympics in high school, and what I learned about myself from serving other people and working in that way. But camp is one of those incredible places. You can bring somebody that doesn't have any mentorship in their area, in their home. And, we bring kids from underserved areas into the camp. We bring kids that are on the spectrum, kids that are mainstream and may not have any perspective about how to appreciate what they have, like a poverty of spirit. And then you have some people that are in poverty, and you put them all together in a group, and they all have firsthand experiences with that diversity, and then they look at those people differently for the rest of their lives. And that's a worthy cause, to teach them how to love each other, how to be courageous, how to be able to stand up and do a skit in front of people where you're not going to be roasted alive. Like, I went to public school, so it's brutal. 6th grade was like the worst, because kids they know how to say the worst things but not have any idea like what those things mean or the effect it has. And so I just believe in fighting for a good cause. It's like you fight to give them tools to be brave and to be themselves and to belong, feel like they belong. And a lot of times the environments, even if they're living in an environment that is not good for their growth or whatever, they believe they can get out and get to something good like what they had at camp and keep coming back and then maybe be a counselor. So me being a product of camp and wanting to be a counselor and on staff, which I was, that pushed me back to wanting to build a place to do that same thing. And it's really those counselors and staff that we have now that are help shaping and inspire that thing again, because I think a lot of people in power, as you go and you get whatever ladder it is that you're trying to climb, if you don't have really good intentions for the people around you and for other things like that, you kind of jaded and lost, and especially in this world. And it's important to put yourself at the service of other people. Like, if you hate your life, go serve someone.
It's true.
And get out and do that and see what that's like. So it's been amazing, because I've had purpose for my career, and then running alongside my career, like, we're building this thing so that it all works together. So find something to align what you want to do with something that makes a difference, and it
makes
feeds
you
each other.
Joyful,
100%.
Like, it's so funny because I'm going to Texas to pick up my kids at camp. And it's the camp I went to. It's the camp my dad went to.
Okay.
And my sister. And we always talk about, like, we have dreams about it still. I'm 43 years old, and I still dream about that camp. There's no air conditioning.
Yeah.
It's outside of Austin, Texas. It's hot as hell.
Yeah.
And yet.
Is that Camp Longhorn?
Yeah, it sure is.
Okay.
You know it. You know it. But,
it.
like, that's my spot. And I think it taught me so much about who I am, and I still remember that feeling. And so to get to watch my girls be part of it,
full circle,
and then for you to give it to people that may not have parents that could afford to send their kids to camp.
Right. That's initiative too. So it's and we're not really subsidized by anything. We try to we're agnostic and try to bring wherever people are, wherever they're at, whatever their background, to just show them how to get along, how to love each other, how to be brave, how to be yourself. And it's a worthy cause.
Yeah, it's amazing. Okay, so 14 years old, you knew you wanted to do it. You started playing at coffee houses, is that right?
That's
I've done
right.
some research.
When I was 14, yeah.
I mean, that was sort of like, we're similar aged, I think. Was that like sort of 90s kind of coffee house vibes, Pearl Jam, sort of like?
That's true, yeah.
What were you playing? What was your sound?
I remember seeing Sean Mullins play and Matthew Kaler play at this coffee house in Dahlonega in my hometown.
Yeah.
And watching them play, and I was like, that's what I want to do. That's the thing. And I loved music. I loved how it brings people together. And I was the guy that had my guitar at every day of school, football practice, everywhere. It also kept me from getting hazed as I went into high school, because the guys are like, play some Pink Floyd, and they won't rub Ben Gay on me in some, inappropriate places. It's like, it was always like home to me. And so I'm grateful that I had purpose, that I knew that I
and
knew
it
what
sort
I
of
wanted.
let you be yourself at a young age, it feels like, or at least part of yourself.
For
right?
sure. And it's another rabbit hole. Like, you can never, no matter how much I practice, no matter how much whatever, there's still people that are just like blow your doors off, and I love that. And I'm a fan first, so I still love going out and seeing live music.
Who do you like? Who would you go see now? Who are you into?
Some of my favorite people, Marcus King's one of my favorites. That guy's going to be one of the best guitar players that's ever lived. He's young, but his fluidity on the guitar and he sings, and he plays piano. He plays everything. Gregory Alan Isaacoff is another one of my favorites.
That's my husband's favorite.
He is. I
He
listen
talks
to him
about
probably
Isaacoff.
more than anyone.
I bet you and Henry Hager are at a tie. I think he's in the top 1%.
Okay.
He also loves Leave Vollenbach. Do you ever listen to
No,
Leave?
I haven't. I'll check that out.
Okay.
I'm always looking for new stuff too.
This new record, you have duets with everybody, including one of my favorites for every single reason. She's like a literacy queen, Dolly Parton.
Yes.
How did that come to be? Like, did you write the song and then send it to her and
Yep.
talk about no fear?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I did. It's been a dream of mine to do a song with Dolly. The human being that she is, and the talent and the difference that she's made, there will never be another Dolly. There'll never be another woman that publishes that many songs and makes that much of a difference. And so I sent her the song, and she was like, don't you give this song to anybody else. This is our song, and it's going to be a big old hit. And she sent back what she sang on it to me, and I listened to it in the car, and I'll never forget it. I was just like, the level of ninja singing she did on that is incredible. Like, she's so good, so good. I don't know anyone that could have picked the parts and sang what she did on there. So it's a big moment for me.
And that song's like recently out. I feel like it's gonna be, it's so inspiring. I mean, what's that process like of writing something, sending it to a collaborator like Dolly? I mean,
But I've been sitting on the song and trying to finish writing it. I actually finished writing the bridge of it with Dan Arbach. When I had the song finished and finally had a decent demo of it, it's the first song I wrote on the piano. So
ever?
First song ever. And it puts you in a different frame of mind for melody and stuff. I wrote it with my friend Sasha, and then finished the bridge with Dan. And it's, I knew it was special, and I was like, on my dream list, like, it would be to do that with Dolly. And I know Dolly loves, it's called Butterfly. So I knew Dolly loves butterflies also. It's like part of her ethos. So, it's a dream. It's a dream to have a song with Dolly. And we did it justice. There's a 40-piece orchestra that we, recorded, and then we filmed for content for the Sphere. This is the year to go big, bet on yourself, go into a bunch of debt, and just
go into too much debt.
Yeah, well, sometimes you have to.
Yeah.
Sometimes this is one of those years where you have to just like really not compromise on any of the quality of it, and like whatever it takes to put on the greatest production that we've ever done, and hopefully that people have seen. A lot of people. Hopefully, it's like this is a big moment for us in our career.
So awesome.
Because I want to be in that legacy group of acts, like the Stones or like the Dead, and like you got to keep up in your game and mash on the gas to be able to get there.
And I feel like you said this earlier, but curiosity's part of that. Like, be willing to reach out, and sort of the no fear part of it. Reach out to those people that you haven't collaborated with. I mean, you have a song on this album with Snoop Dogg.
That's right.
Who I love.
Me too.
That feels new.
100%. If you're going to have an herb song, you got to get Snoop on the song. So that was the goal, and I just
We
reached
had
out.
a crazy experience with Snoop here and Hoda, where we were doing the open and we were kind of playing off of an herb joke, and he was supposed to like blow out a candle, but we had a smoke machine, and the smoke machine wasn't working, and he's like, yo, I got the real thing. And we're like, no, Snoop, there's like kids for a fashion show. We're like, we can't do the real thing.
Yeah.
This is morning television, but that's so much fun.
It is. It was so fun. And I love the song too. I think that's a good viral song, and it's just to have fun. I mean, that's the intention of that song. You know, all songs have a spirit, and so anything, if you take out of context, if people are like, well, how are you, you know, whatever, you have to be deaf to a lot of what people say. The people that sit and write reviews on things generally don't have a life. They don't do anything except hate on what other people do. So that's okay. You just got to be brave enough to just put yourself out there and keep going.
Wasn't it Teddy Roosevelt that said like something about the arena, the people that are
in the arena?
Yeah.
That's,
everything comes back to, I just have him staring at me in that,
I know,
on that bicep. I can't see. I'm scared of him. But that's so true. It's like, and I tell my kids this, if you're worried about what other people think, you're not going to be you're not going to be living your life in sort of an authentic, real way, because you're going to be too performative. You know, everything's going to be for others.
Reacting to it.
Yeah.
And it comes along with, you know, success. There's things like being able to do this. I wouldn't be able to do what I'm doing right now if it wasn't for the success we've had. But it comes along with a lot of other things. It comes along with people extorting you. It comes along with people, and their engine for extortion is social media.
Yeah.
So, and they can change the way that people don't know you, like maybe change the way they think about you by extorting you or slandering you just so that you will pay them off. But out of principle, you have to stand your ground and just take the good with the bad, and just like wade your way through these things, you know. But
how do you let things like that not affect you as a human? Like, how do you let that not jade you and make you still like open for love and open for curiosity and the goodness of humanity?
Yeah, I think we're always being tested. There's always forces when you have light and you want to share things and do things. There's forces, whatever your spirituality or religion or whatever it is, you can call it, the devil, chaos, whatever it is. There's forces that are trying to distract you from showing your light, and that's just part of life. I have a new song on this album called The Sum, S-U-M, and that's exactly what that's about. Like, you need the dark to be able to see the stars, and that's the sum of it. And I think you can't let all of those things steal your joy and distract you from being what you're supposed to be, and to be able to get out there. The people that know me know my heart, they know my decisions. And unfortunately, there's people that you have to cut out of your circle because of decisions that they make. And it's hard because you care about those people, but your success will directly depend on your environment and the people you keep around you. And if they're not expanders, and if they're not on board with growing and helping each other and sharpening each other, then they got to go. And I wish them all well. And those are the ones that come back and slander you and talk trash about you and whatever, and try to go. And their lawyers are calling like, how much are you going to pay us to go away? It's like,
nothing.
I'm not. I'm not.
This podcast is about storytelling and literature, and you're a songwriter, I feel like, first. Is that right?
I'm always chasing a song. And I'm always waiting to hear something that's inspiring. I hear someone put together a story in a new way, with the melody, with a harmony, with whatever accompaniment that it is. Like, I'm just seeking that inspiration, trying to find it for myself.
What's your process? Like, do you kind of write little notes down if you hear something that inspires you?
I do. And then there's times when I'll just go away on a retreat to just get away and write.
Yeah.
So then I dig through all my notes and I look through, like, these are the thoughts that I had. And this is something also, when you find something that you know you're going to believe in, it's like, this has really added value to my life. That's worth writing about. And that's what you kind of focus on. And then I've been writing with some new people. This guy, Chris Galbuta, that I've been writing with, is one of the most talented guys I've ever been around. And together, with the stuff we're writing is
for this
unbelievable.
New album?
Yes, we wrote a lot of this new record together.
Yeah.
And he's going to be on the road coming out to play with us as well. Buddha is his nickname.
Buddha.
But
is that because he's peaceful, or no?
Well, Galbuta is his last name, so I think it's Buddha. He's wild. He's wild. He's settled down a lot. He just had his first kid.
Welcome to the world.
Yeah, yeah. But just super, super talented and dialed in, and incredible voice. And he didn't believe he's an artist, but I'm like, people will hear you sing. So that's part of my platform, is getting him out there and letting him come and sing and join forces with us, and we can travel when we write and things like that. Finding your people, you know. The guy that I worked on this record with to mix this record, I found my guy there too. This guy Leggy, unbelievable, and willing to sit. We sat for 2 straight weeks mixing this record and getting everything where it speaks, everything where it needs to be, to get the vision of it down. And it's amazing, just one level of something being too loud or too soft, or the color of it is can be off and the song doesn't give you that like goosebump feeling
moment.
So the attention to detail is super important, and that's part of the rabbit hole, is really paying attention to every single little thing and not compromising, not throwing a line in because it rhymes. Some songs take me 11 years to finish.
Well, that's what I read, and I couldn't believe that. You start a song and then 11, are there any on this album that took that amount of time?
Butterfly was probably 5 years in finishing it.
Wow.
Some of them happen in 3 hours.
Yeah,
you know?
It just depends.
And then some of them, there's one on there called What You Gonna Do that I worked on the guitar part for like a year and a half, just like on and off playing with it. But
Is that because you just won't settle like until you feel like it's as impactful as it could
you know it's great, and you don't want to settle just on something. And if you're not inspired and find the right thing, the good thing about collaborating and writing with people is there's no ego. And when between the two of you or three of you, whoever's writing, when the right idea comes out, everyone recognizes it. They're like, that's it. That's the part. And so I love that journey of chasing a song. That's super fun for me. And I love studying other people like Gregory Alan Isaacoff. Some of his lyrics are just like very modern day Bob Dylan, like the way he says things. Like if it weren't for second chances, we'd all be alone. Like that song, there's moments of that. And so writing and collaborating with people that are like that, being around them, and then just in life paying attention. And when someone says something, I'm like, that's a song. Write it down.
Where do you feel like you find your inspiration?
Everyday life, you know, in passing with things, reading, watching documentaries, things about history or about bands, musical history and things. Like it's all similar struggles, but in a different time. You know, the things they used to go back before they had cell phones, and literally you pull the tour bus over to call where you're driving 15 hours away and find out that the show's canceled or something, and you're already driven 15 hours to get to that point. So, you know, we're in a different time where people are so connected, but at the same time, like disconnected personally. That's another battle with my kids, is like trying not to let them be so addicted to their phones.
Believe me.
And I am too. Like I'm addicted to my phone when I'm traveling, like whether it's a game or just feeds or whatever it is. So the amount of attention span I feel like is so much smaller than it used to be. Everyone grazes, everyone. So trying to figure out how to create something that makes it through that chatter of the world. Like everyone can just upload whatever they want.
I know.
So you're competing with all of that. So what are you going to do that's different, that sets you apart? How are you going to break through the noise to make something, to just get people to listen to it? Because a lot of the best people aren't part of a big machine.
Yeah.
And then, so I'm always trying to seek out those people. There's another singer that I love. Her name's Billie Ann. Have you ever heard of her? Billianne. Unbelievable singer, writer. So there's things like that, treasures that I'm like finding. I haven't gotten to write with her or collaborate yet, but that's in the works.
Have you reached out? Does she know that you want to?
Not yet.
Oh, well, now she does.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Yeah.
I know you did like a tattoo. What would that even be called? Tour. A tattoo tour. Say that 7 times. And you have my favorite poet on your arm, Mary Oliver. Where is it? Can I see it?
It's right here. So this was my daughter's, her favorite Mary Oliver poem. And this is in her handwriting.
Oh, I love that.
And she has one on her arm that's my handwriting.
Oh, my
So when
gosh.
she turned 18, she was leaving for a semester at sea. So I took her to Thailand. We spent 5 days there, and then I saw her off on the ship for 4 months. She got college credit, visited like 14 countries.
I had friends that did that. That's amazing.
So we're in Thailand, and she's like, I want to get a tattoo. So I was like, let's do it. Let's go together and do it. So that was an amazing experience.
But the Mary Oliver of it all, like her attention to nature and sort of what it means for us as humans.
I know. The genius is really in as simply as you can say something that is so deep on so many levels, and she was a master of that.
I'm obsessed with her devotion. She did a collaboration. Her team did with us, which was amazing.
We tried to use some of her poems that we spoke on one of my albums, and the estate was like, we don't do that. So we didn't get to do that, but I got to read it aloud at a show. The album was called The Owl.
Yeah.
Right at midnight Eastern, where we were playing, a huge owl flew in and landed in the middle of the crowd in Guilford, New Hampshire.
Wow.
Literally right at the stroke of midnight. And it's right after I read the Mary Oliver poem, and then this owl comes in.
How
amazing
I know,
and it was
is
a poem
that?
about an owl. So that's a synchronicity. That's the thing that you see that you can't really explain. You know, I see that with my lady a lot. There's a lot of things. It's like reminders that you're on the path that you're supposed to be on.
Mm-hmm. Can we talk about your lady? Because I love her.
Yeah, absolutely.
She's a Texan, like I am.
Yeah.
And she's so smart and giving.
100%.
When you say you've seen the signs, like you're like, oh, this is who I'm supposed to be
I've
with.
seen 1,000 signs. 1,000. We have the same heart. We have the same family values. We have the same drive. There's so many things that are aligned with us. It's amazing. And understanding her life is big and complex like mine is, like, but we're simple people at our core. So we share that, and our love for each other's kids, and just being able to be together and try to figure out how to, you know, plan a life where we can be at ease more, have more time to slow down. But right now it's not that time. Right now it's like full, let's go, let's get up and get after it.
But I mean, she's an entrepreneur too, so it's interesting. You guys are building different things, but, you know, building nonetheless.
For sure. It's like two comets, like we just like joined, but we're going in the same direction, and look out for each other. And it's incredible. It's such an incredible connection that we have.
I love that. So we talked a little bit about when you were younger. It seems like you kind of raise people up, like you find these people and bring them
I've been a
into your
people
tribe.
collector before I even had my own home. I was bringing people home to stay at the house that other people were letting me stay at. Like, I can't help it. That's just part of me.
I mean, that's why you're part of a band too. You
For
know,
sure.
You're part of a team.
Yep.
And did you have a mentor or somebody that believed in you sort of as a young person or whenever, like maybe even when you didn't see it in yourself?
For sure. I had people that told me, hey, you're really good at this. You need to keep doing it. And to say that to a young person can change the whole trajectory of their life. So it's important to recognize it. Like, and then that gave me more fuel to just like, okay, that validation. But, and that's what we try to do at camp. Yeah. It's like, you're really good at this. Keep going. I had people say that to me. My brother-in-law, who's been like a dad to me, David Camp, he's always been supportive. Like, one day you just keep doing this and whatever. You can move to Nashville. You can, and I never ended up moving to Nashville, but, and then Dr. Bland, who works with us now, taking care of our circus. He's a retired radiation oncologist, but he gave me the money to make my first album when I was 19. And
like he saw something in you and he's like,
he saw me play around town, and, he was like alumni of my fraternity and was around. I knew him because of that. And then I walked in one day and I was like, I need $6,000. And he wrote me a check.
Oh my gosh.
And 6 months later, I showed up with $6,000 in cash, paid him back. And then he helped me later on down the road. But now he's part of our crew. He rolls with us, and I take care of him. We take care of each other. So I've had several people along the way that have helped me, and all the families that took me in, that just let me, because when I turned 16, I didn't have any adult supervision at all. I had a car. Sometimes I'd sleep in my car. I'd bounce around. I'd stay with my friends' parents. And I had an amazing example through my friends' parents of really like what that family unit should look like and be like. My brother David and my sister Jody, their marriage, like that was a really great example, and I learned a lot from them. But master of none, master of none of it. But through my journey, I've had people that were really inspiring and that loved me. They didn't have to, but they did.
What was that time like? 16, no parental supervision. Like I feel like when you're young, you're like, that's the dream, but in reality, it's not. How did you get through that time, other than relying on others?
I grew up. I've never told my personal story about my childhood and my life and the things that drove me into music and the things that saved my life over and over again through music. I'm getting to tell that at the Sphere, so I get.
Is that what that's going to be the part of the narrative?
Yeah, 100%.
How does that feel, putting that all out there?
It feels great. Because the hardest things we go through is what define who we are and make us ready for the world and for things. So that's something that's very common amongst all of us. And you either get in a trap and find yourself that you're a victim of something that happened, or you're like, that doesn't define me and I'm moving past that. Like you can be a victor of all the hard stuff that's happened. And I think reminding people of that. So that's what the show, The Sphere, is about.
That's amazing. Yeah. Okay, well now I'm really coming. You added more dates. You think you'll keep adding?
I don't think I can say, but there's a really
If people keep coming,
that might happen.
You'll keep if people keep coming, you'll keep adding. You talked about reading as an inspiration because that's kind of my thing. Okay. What do you read?
I'm more of an audiobook person. So my ADD is pretty
By the way, there's
crazy.
this app called Speechify that I'm obsessed with.
Okay.
I have an actual addiction to it.
Okay.
Where you listen and it reads it, you see it at the same time.
I need that because my ADD serves me in a lot of ways, but in reading it's really challenging because I'll be looking and after 2 minutes, I'm looking at the words, but my mind is elsewhere.
Yes.
So listening to something, if I'm able to like sketch or do something while I'm even just like a dumb game or do something while I'm listening or while I'm driving is the best time. Mm-hmm. If I'm driving and I can listen to an audiobook or a podcast, I learn a lot on podcasts as well.
What are you into fiction, nonfiction? What are you into?
It's all over the place. Just like my taste in music. Like it really, I love Rumi. People that are really wordsmiths, I love to read. If it's about history, about someone that I'm really, inspired by, somebody like that. Podcast wise, I love Joe Rogan. I love the pragmatist that he is and being able to bring really brilliant people on. And you may not agree with them, but being able to just have a debate or a talk about it and listen to things. Andrew Huberman's another one on the health side. He's somebody that's helped me with my own health just by listening to his podcast. I've been investing the last 5 or 6 years into anything that can make me feel good, feel better. And that goes through life coaching, through therapy, through plant medicine journeys, through anything that I can do to make me be able to give more and to be able to understand myself, give myself grace, let go of trauma and shame and any of those things. So uncovering all of those things, it takes work to do it, but that's like the most worthy cause that you have because your health and your mental wellness, mindfulness is that's where it's at.
I wonder if without like the last 10 years of therapy, of talking, of understanding yourself, you'd be able to put on this show at the Sphere.
I don't think so. I think I would be distracted by a lot of other things. And it's helped me a lot. It's helped me as a parent. It's helped me, to feel good every day. I want to feel good every day that I wake up. You're tired sometimes because you got to get up and grind and do it. But, I want to be able to spearfish and dive and run up and down mountains when I'm older. And if you don't practice that every day and try to be your best. And it was a long journey to get around there because I used to eat like trash. I used to drink. I used to do a lot of things that don't serve you. And until you have your own voice that's like one day you're going to put all this down and you're going to go. And I had that day. And then it's like, and then I'm curious, like, what else is there? Like, what else can I do?
Well, and also even to take the space to listen to how you feel. Like you said, we're all running around like crazy and also consumed with electronics, so we can't even hear our own voice. Right. Like does
we're in the most distracting time it's ever been, and all the things the algorithms are made to addict you to things of interest, and sometimes they really help with the passing of time and transit and things, but you can't let that be your master either. So it's all a balance, like balancing.
I feel like if you're only looking down, then you're not, you said you get your inspiration when you're looking up and see a little piece of life.
That's
and
true.
If you're just constantly looking here,
that's true.
You miss that.
We're in a new time. I mean, it's never been this way. So I have to block it out. I have to not watch the news, not watch comments, not read what people have to say about things. You know what you're doing, and if you know who you are, you're going to keep going down that direction, and it takes work to get there. And I'm not a master of any of this. I'm just saying this is my
Well, it's like you're telling it. I always say that too, and then I'm like, I'm really just speaking to myself, like put it down.
Everything's a mirror. The people that you hate, there's something about them that reminds you of something in yourself that you hate. So it's everything is showing you yourself.
So you just sang the national anthem at the All-Star game like this summer, and you also, I feel like, sang a national anthem when you were 14 years old at a baseball game.
I did, yeah.
What do you think that 14-year-old would think of where you are now, who you are?
You know, it's funny,
now?
we sang it exactly the same way that I did when I was 14. That's one of those songs that I don't really mess with.
No.
And, 14 being there, and I was actually singing harmony on that day. My buddy Radford, who I was singing in the coffee house with when I was 14, same thing. you know, being able to be part of that, I remember how big that moment felt to me when I was 14, and being a Braves fan and being at the stadium. It was an old stadium then, you know, and you know, it's all full circle. And just as a music fan, all these people that I'm such a fan of their music, they're like superheroes to me. And now I'm friends with all of them, and that's wild. And I'm always reminded, I go from being home and being like a servant to my family to stepping on a stage where all these people know all the words to my songs. And I never get used to that. I never take that for granted, because I slept against the window of a truck for almost 10 years, you know, driving through the night, sitting up to be able to hustle and do the things that I've been able to do, and get people like one room at a time, like sports bars. So I created a business model. I would play places that didn't have live music. And I'd say, look, I'm going to play here every Tuesday. I just want the door, and I'll play for free, and give us a tab and we'll play. And so after a few months of doing that, we'd have like 300 people there on a Tuesday. And if I had tried to go to places that already had live music, I would have been making $60, $100 a night. And we were making $800, $1,200 a night on a Tuesday. And we did that every single week. For 6 years, I played house gigs, 3 in Georgia, 2 in Alabama, 2 in Florida.
Wow.
And, you know, just it takes that kind of hustle to succeed. So these days, there's a lot of people that become super famous just by posting something they put online. Well, that's the beginning of the hustle. If you're not willing to go out, you can have a little moment, but if you're going to have a full career on it, you better give it everything you got.
Yeah, I mean, I think people see you now and think about like these summer shows you put on and sort of this community that you've built through your music, and they think like, oh, this happened overnight, but it didn't. It took a lot of tenacity.
No, a lot of time.
What do you think you're going to be feeling on that opening night in Vegas, in the Sphere, with all of these people that have traveled there to be with you?
I've made sure that I have enough time leading up to it to be ready for it, where every aspect of the show will be covered. I'm sure there'll be some little fires the day of the show, but that's just part of it. So you do the best of what you got. But I have an incredible team, and they put out all those fires, and they help us solve the problems and things. That's probably the thing I'm most proud of, is keeping a lot of my crew around me for almost 20 years now, and us figuring it out together. You know, my production manager that runs front of house for me, he was my sound man at Dixie Tavern in Georgia, and had dreads down to his waist. And I'd come home some nights, and he'd be sleeping on my front porch, like vodka passed out. And he's one of the best live mixing engineers in the world now. And he's just a soldier. You know, we all came through this thing together, and to see everybody's growth and everybody, like, I'm super proud. That's the thing I'm probably the most proud of.
But you know that those shows, people have traveled there for you. You know, I mean, some will probably live in Vegas, but the majority, just like you traveled, just like I traveled for you too. You know, like there'll be a bunch of fans who have made it a purpose to be there. And when you stand out and look at them, like, what goes through your mind?
My goal is to create something that's going to absolutely make their jaw drop and blow their mind, that they did not expect, and to leave there feeling inspired and wowed. And that's why I'm going into debt. Because I want it to be the greatest thing that's ever happened there.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Okay, well, thank you so much,
Thank you.
Zac.
It was a pleasure.
Hey, thanks for watching. And don't forget, you can catch the Today Show every morning on NBC, or take Today when you're on the go. Just follow the Today podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen.